I just spoke about the hypocrisy of the stores, asking you to round up. It's a light way of solicitation, okay? Acting as though it's lawful. Another thing is the way, see, the living God is righteous, means, he's straight, okay? There are no ifs, ands, or buts in between it. Used to be, they said, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, see, because there's three ways that the individual can lie. They give you a little bit, then they give you half of it, but they're supposed to give it all, okay, in order to get a whole on the perspective. So God is whole. God is one. God is meaning for that direct, straight, you know, um, truth. That's what that is. Nothing hidden, no agenda in it at all. So you go and people be like, well, I know some people they love dogs here, man. My goodness, these people are so idolatered in dogs. It's unbelievable. There are more dog walkers in the park than there are people in the park. Okay, I mean, it's just you forget it. The dog poo and everything, and legally they're supposed to pick it up. They don't. I mean, who's who and what, and that they don't care. They just love their dog. Now, listen, they'll take a dog, and then there are people that are all men. Scripture says all men are liars. All men are liars, and they are. They are. Okay. Watch. You got. I know individuals that say that they serve Jesus, and they lying all the time. Lying all the time, and don't even recognize it. They're like, no, my dog is a service dog. See, because I've had brain trauma, or and they say things to justify like the reason that dog's allowed to be a service dog. I said, listen, we have laws for a reason, okay? It's for order, good order too. It's for the good, okay? It's not to try to rule over, but it's for the good. A service dog goes like this. I walked in a coffee shop yesterday, which unbelievably it was almost $5 for a cup of coffee with no refills. Again, the wickedness of that. I mean, really, everyone trying to make a buck. And then I'm standing there drinking it, and I'm looking at the window, and it says, I'm sorry, but no dogs are allowed in the store. The puppies can stay outside, and we have treats for them. Okay, and that's it. That's it. That's it. Nothing else on the sign. It said all dogs have to stay outside, not allowed in the store. Well, guess what? No, that's not how it works. Not according to law. Okay, the law says that all service dogs are allowed in anywhere it is a public community. Public, get it? Like coffee shops, eateries, grocery stores, public. Anything public, services the public, a service dog is allowed in. Hospitals, whatever, okay. What isn't public anymore? So, when you do bring the service dog in, just walking it on a leash, you can lie. All you do is they're like, well, is that a service dog? You're like, yeah, it's my service dog. Okay. In your mind, you're saying it's your service dog because it services you for what? You're in need to keep your dog with you. Now, is that a just reason according to the law that's written? Nope. You can't have it for that mental thought. So these people are unjust, unrighteous. But God is righteous. Therefore, he says, follow these laws, these statutes, these precepts, these ordinances for a reason. It isn't to make like you are a better person, not at all. But there are reasons for them. So the actual service dog is like this. You're not allowed to ask them, and it says that according to that law. Now they'll follow that law and say, "Hey, you can't ask me about that. You can't. I don't have to have a certification to show you." Now they'll follow that part of the law, but they won't follow the other part where they're lying. See, the truth, the whole truth, and then nothing but the truth. They do the truth, but not the whole truth, and then they won't ever do nothing but the truth. What happens is that you don't have to show a certificate to have it as a service dog, but there is something that the individual that is approaching them with that dog is allowed to do according to law. Two statements. There are two statements. One statement, it says you're allowed to ask them what particular disability was the service dog trained for, not what you think in your mind you want it for. Trained for means it went through a training process for that disability. Specific, it says, and then it says, what is your disability? Those two questions they have to answer. And they can lie. You can lie. All men are liars. I have a mental disability. The dog went through that training. And they're like, okay, well, so it's more like it's on you, okay? So if you lie, you lie. Now the Lord's got you. You lied. You'll pay for that. Nobody gets away with a lie. I mean, they just don't know how it's incorporated in their life daily or how it's sewn in, to their works of life. No one knows how that works. But see, if you know the living God, the Lord will sew it into your life, whether it was a true or a lie. Okay, so all of these hypocrisies they're everywhere in anything. It's just that you've got to know wisdom. You got to have the wisdom of God to know these things. Outside of that, the simple who believe every word do what they want to do according to their mindset and what law they say and what part. Keep that in mind. Follow the living God.